someone broke into my camera system. So I have Wyze cameras. I am going through a bit of a Rico situation, so the people it could potentially be, including law enforcement with illegal operation, is my ex-husband who lives 5 minutes down the road and has every reason to try to shut me up. He committed crimes against me, and I've been trying to point this out for quite some time. So I have them connected to my home Wi-Fi. I am in a situation where I've been red flagged. I can't get a job, which means I don't have internet. I couldn't pay the bill. When there's no Wi-Fi, when there's Wi-Fi but no internet, they're supposed to be blinking blue and red like they are right now. They're blinking blue and red. But at around 3 weeks ago, I noticed they were flashing blue, which means they're connected to Wi-Fi but don't have internet. So I was like, well, maybe they just connected to my Wi-Fi. I don't see how that's possible because I would have to physically do it, but okay. I figured whatever. And right now I was just kind of using them as dummy cameras because of how I have stuff going on in my house. Well, I noticed they were moving. I noticed that I had left I had left one in the kitchen where it faces the kitchen door, and that all of a sudden it was facing more towards the stove. I wrote it off in my head as that maybe I'm walking on the floor and it wobbled that way, even though it's never done that before. And I walked just as hard as I always do. Like, I tried to brush it off. And then I noticed one day that it was facing more towards the living room. And I was like, well, that's odd. And I've had these type of cameras, all the different versions of them, all pan for like 10 years. Multiple businesses, multiple homes. I've probably owned more than 30 of these cameras in my lifetime. This is unusual behavior just to have them move even just a little bit. I mean, when they do that and rotate thing, and it's not like I have motion sensing on, because it's not like it's a glitch or anything like that, because it's more than one camera that's been doing this, okay? It's like someone's actually controlling them, like they're moving them just a little bit, just looking around. And they try to put it back in the same spot, but it's not quite the right spot they're putting it back in. I have one in my bedroom because I had a roommate that was harassing me and I just never took it down, which is I'm really grateful for other reasons because it's prevented people from bothering me. So again, I left it there. I walked in here after taking a nap on the couch and it was facing towards the window. It didn't see me walk in the room. I got irritated with this behavior and not knowing what the hell's going on because this is now the second time that actually happened with that camera. And the first time I moved it straight, okay? The first time I thought maybe, I don't know. I have no idea why it moved. Like, I'm getting a little paranoid. Like, I know I'm going through a Rico situation. So it's like, how are they able to access my cameras? Okay, so I go to put a chip in it. I don't know if it's going to record, but I figure if it records, I can pull the chip out if I notice something and I can stick it on my computer and I'll be able to see if anything funky happened. Like it moving on its own. I would have evidence of it moving on its own. I walk up to the side of it to put the chip in and the fuck straightened itself out right in front of me. And I'm like, oh shit. I mean, it was like the weirdest confirmation. And it went a little too far. And then, so it went from, okay, it was over here. It should be facing here, right? It was over here and it went, it went and tried to, it made itself nice and straight. So I decided that I'm going to log on to the camera system, even though they're not connected, right? They shouldn't be. Using my cellular, it tells me the cameras are not connected. If I log on to my Wi-Fi that does not have internet, it gives me error codes that it's unable to access the cameras. So that tells me that my phone app through my Wi-Fi can technically communicate with them, but they're refusing to give me access. They're giving me error codes. So that leads me to wonder, who has the ability to access these things? Somebody with hacking skills, like private investigators, the law enforcement, or what about Wyze themselves? There's been times where these things have been manipulated, but let me take Wyze out of this one. In order to use my Wi-Fi to access these cameras remotely at all, since there's no internet, you would have to be near the premises. So whoever's doing this with my cameras has to have some wicked computer skills, pay or know somebody who has them. And they have to be near my property. Because I can communicate with the camera and it'll give me an error code back because there's no internet. Because you're not supposed to be able to access them that way. They're not built that way, supposedly. But somebody is. Because these things have moved repeatedly. And I notice they only move when I'm asleep. They only move when I'm out of the house. And this one didn't know that it knew I came into the room, but it didn't know where I was at. So it moved itself out, thinking I wasn't looking. But I was actually right up to it, getting ready. I took a picture of it moved, and then as I'm walking and it moved straight, I took another picture, literally, of myself holding the SD card going, what the fuck? So who locally could be accessing my cameras? Like I said, I'm in a Rico situation. If law enforcement was doing it, they would have to have warrants and all that kind of stuff. So, and the only reason they would be doing that, my ex is committed some crimes. My ex is being investigated. And he tried to put things on me, and so I kind of got dragged into this. But like I said, I've been trying to gain attention to this investigation or start one because I'm not 100% sure if there is one, but I do highly suspect it because of some weird shit that's been going on in my life. I really hope they are because I need some justice, man. I'm tired of this. Either that or this is I'm being harassed by law enforcement on behalf of my ex-husband. So either it's an investigation or that, or somebody hired a private investigator, which, like I said, my ex don't have these kind of computer skills. If it was him, he'd have to hire someone. If it was someone else, they'd have to hire someone. I don't know anybody with these kind of mad computer skills. I know I can rebuild a computer. I know DOS, I know Terminal, I know MacBook, I know Windows, and I know how to take apart a phone and put it back together. Sorry, I started over my words. Yes, I got it. I know how to take apart a phone, and I know how to put it back together. I know a lot about internet protocol, and even I don't know how to do this. I know it's possible, but I don't know how to do it. So it is possible for someone to take control of your cameras. Why are they doing it to me? As soon as I unplugged my Wi-Fi router, it's not happening anymore. They're blinking blue and red. They're not moving around when I'm asleep. They're not moving around when I'm gone. Who's been Wi-Fi distance from me controlling my cameras?